Hey everybody there on YouTube, this is Mr. Hardcore Mode where nothing is easy. Warriors and wenches, how y'all doing? And God bless. I wanted to talk about something very close to me, which is censorship. Censorship that has been painfully obvious up on Steam. Steam is probably one of the biggest areas for video gaming, especially since they have adult content, and their TOS just doesn't mesh with some of the adult themes with the game. But I've been thinking about this a lot lately, especially when it comes to the TOS, and it also matches with Twitch and their TOS that they don't even follow. So we're going to touch up on this, especially with a game called Red Pine Lake. I think it's an adult game. We're going to say it's like a PG-13 game. It's not really an adult game. I think it focuses on you just, shooting up some zombies and stuff with playing as an attractive female. But we're going to listen to this announcement from them. This image is the reason our Steam page has not been approved. This image is now classed as too mature according to Steam. So now we cannot have the page ready in time for the event and would need to censor our marketing, screenshots, and etc. That would be the Halloween event that was available for the discount, Halloween event. This message is 5 days ago. This is what censorship is coming to, is the games industry, and we have to ask now, is it worth it for them to move the goalposts down the line? We could have it all remade and hope they accept it, but where will it stop? We would need to redo the networking too if we move platforms, but do you really want a censored game? We don't. Anyone know of any platforms they recommend or publishers that can handle mature content? Let us know. We are sorry about this. We worked hard to get something ready that we can't even share, but we do have one thing that is playable that we will announce for Halloween. Now, this is the picture of the female, Red Pine Lake. That's the character you play as. I think you can customize her, but that's the picture. Now, I'll even bump it up. That's fine. I'm pretty sure nobody's going to be sad about that. So, this is the picture. And I've been thinking about this lately with Twitch and also with their censorship of other like VTubers and other people over there on Twitch, but also on Steam. But we're going to touch up on Steam. But it's going to be all meshed up in one thing. And I have one question for you. Do you think, and I've been thinking about this for a while, do you think that Steam and Twitch are full of a bunch of liberal communists who play favorites with which games that they play? Or which games that they favor? You ever thought about that? Like, there's a Futa Femboy game that's on Steam, but you can't play this game. There is a game where you can get pregnant by a giant fucking dragon, but you can't play this game. There's a game where you can shoot shit out of your ass, but you can't play this game. There's a game where you play as a furry Hitler, but you can't play this game. So I'm just trying to dial it all in, and I think that Twitch and Steam are full of liberal communist retards, and the main people, the CEOs of these two companies, are so lackadaisical that they lack leadership. They had leadership, but they don't anymore. And I guess we could say, we could have this conversation when it comes to Collective Shout, because Collective Shout was a big thing. They took a lot of like incest games, but nobody really cared about that. But I firmly believe that the TOS doesn't fucking matter. It does not matter. It only matters to us, even though Steam doesn't do the same thing for us. You see what I'm saying? Where the weird ones are available, the ones that are really odd are available, but the ones that are that are just pretty much lady sexy is not available. I just find that it's just an idea in my head. Anyway, so I want to dive right back down in here. We want to make this game free from censorship and restrictions. We're willing to put in the work, but we need help. This is our call. As much as ours of any support is appreciated. I'll definitely like that. That's up on Kickstarter if you want to. Can I copy the address maybe? If you want to support them, this is their thing up on Twitter. They're the Aftermath Z Games, and the game's called Red Pine Lake. But we're gonna keep on continuing. This guy brings up a really interesting point, and I'm gonna try not to show the pictures, but basically, there's like, I'll just put that right there. That's fine. But Twitch doesn't know a goddamn thing. Basically, there's a game called Wicked Island. There's a couple of like hentai games, and there's a couple of like games that are just raunchy. But those games are fine. But I noticed a trend with these games where you know exactly what leftists are into, what turns them on, and it links up with what they like. And then I think that not only that, you need this, a lack of leadership, or when the leadership goes, everyone's the boss, which is a fucking stupid idea. When everyone's the boss, that means that they're just lackadaisically on here, just censoring and cutting off certain people that they deem, oh, you got a game where you're beating up women? Yeah, you're going away. That's the shit I'm talking about. It's so weird that they're able to have a lady get bred by a giant cow, but they're not ready for a lady to get slapped up by a man in a video game. That's so leftist. You see what I'm saying? Their team even admitted they are aware other games do it. They just don't like us for some reason. It's because you genuine question on the website. You show these screenshots. Could you not have used any of these? And it's like a different one. And I strongly disagree, because he already said it already. He said that the reason why it looks like a survival game type thing, but the reason why is they don't want to change the ethics. They're just gonna goalpost even more. Where does it fucking end? So they pretty much just said the same thing that I said. Yeah. So there is one person we're gonna watch a video of. We're gonna watch a video by Belinda Erkan, and she says something that probably links up to what we are talking about. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna turn off the music and listen to her video.
Why can a game with butt cheeks pooping on enemies stay on Steam, but a RimWorld patch where characters jerk off in private gets banned? Why is Putin, boobs, and Trump off limits, but Putin, Stalin, and Hitler gets the green light?
Holy shit. Say that again. Can you say that again?
Banned. Why is Putin, boobs, and Trump?
Putin, boobs, and Trump is a game, I guess.
Trump off limits, but Putin.
There it is. There it is, right there. There it is, right there. Holy shit! Baldur's Gate 3 has all parts of sex scenes, and they are not censored. Exactly. This is why. This is why. Bobby, you make up a really good point. The reason being is because Baldur's Gate 3 has a lot of eyes on it. You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going? If you ban a game that's really recognizable by 100 people, they can get away with it. But if it's a triple A or or any sort of game, it doesn't even need to be AAA. If it's a game that's widely looked at, they will not touch it. They will not touch it, because if it gets any sort of backlash, then that's more shit that's optics. Optics again. You see what I'm saying? Where it's just like, but they're ready to like, any game that's where you're killing Stalin is a great game. Any game that you're killing Putin is a great game. But any game where it's just like Putin hanging out with Trump, that's not a good game. Yeah. This is a political game that they're playing. And like I said before, there's no leadership. It's just a whole bunch of people that they think they're the boss.
Stalin and Hitler gets the green light.
A bunch of communist liberals thinking like, oh shit, well this is good. This is fine. I'm pretty sure if they said, like, kill Trump, they would leave that shit up on there.
What?
Wait. If they're okay with killing Putin and that game is fine, then why are they okay with the furry Hitlers? Got it. They're furry fans. Makes sense. It sounds retarded. I know what I'm saying sounds retarded, but just let's go through the video and we'll get through this one by one. Trust me, we'll get to the end.
But Putin, Stalin, and Hitler gets the green light. Why is Blood Trail, the most violent game in VR, okay, but Tormentor isn't? And why is this, and this, a game about rape, allowed, but a game about pickup lines gets rejected? Well, my fellow informed gamers, welcome to Steam's bizarre world of moderation, where logic goes to die. Valve's vague policies on what is and isn't allowed has baffled everyone for years.
Very vague policy. It was very vague.
From wrongly banned mods to asset flips and shovelware, Steam's inconsistent moderation is a well-known issue. But what's less known is why it's so utterly broken. Well, to understand why, you first need some context. Steam isn't just a platform, you know, it's the Amazon of PC gaming, and for small developers, it's the only way to survive. But
True.
Publishing on Steam feels more like a Russian roulette. Valve, the company behind it, is infamous for its vague, ever-changing rules.
Especially after the whole Karen apocalypse that happened. Very true.
1 minute they ban pornography, the next they allow everything, only to then ban those again that feature real-life explicit images. The rules don't just shift, they contradict. It's so bad, even politicians are calling out Steam's hands-off approach to content moderation that allows users to glorify Nazism, white supremacy, and school shooters. Valve technically bans hate speech, they just don't enforce it, which is why a lot of Nazi content stays up unless governments like Germany step in. Well, for a billion-dollar company this powerful, you'd expect a system that works. So why doesn't it? To find out, we need to look a little bit back at where it all started, when Valve first struggled to police its platform. Spoiler, it didn't go well. Steam's moderation mess blew up in 2017. Suddenly, a game of
2017. I'm gonna have to keep that data. Or 2017. Oh no! When did the? Oh no! Hold up. When did the Me Too movement start? It started in 2006 by, yeah, but it didn't, yeah, it gained global prominence in 2017. There it is. There it is. Oh my fucking God. Oh my God. I was like, it started in 2006. Nobody gave a fuck. By activist Tarana Burke, who used the phrase to empower survivors of sexual violence, particularly young women of color. So you only care about them. It gained global prominence in 2017 as a social media hashtag. 2007. Oh my fucking God.
About a boy's first look at adult themes vanished from Steam. Not for gore or violence, but for harmless ASCII art that kinda looked like porn. But for Steam, it definitely was porn. If the game had monsters or violence or death, it probably wouldn't have been banned, said the developer, who was forced to put his game up on a lesser-known platform. And then came House Party, a game you win by having sex with women at a party.
I remember this game. I played the game.
Blackmailing with drunk photos, whipping your out, getting chicks drunk was all part of the gameplay. No surprise it got pulled after it was publicly slammed for how easily available it was to an estimated 35 million children.
The Me Too movement. Women. Karens did this.
But when the outrage cooled, the game sneaked back on Steam. Toned down, but still sketchy, with an off-Steam patch to restore the original. And Steam seemed to be totally fine with it. Meanwhile, Strangers in a Strange Land, a point-and-click that's more peep show than puzzle game, got banned for too much skin and an underage...
Bro! You know... It's times like this where you wonder, when is Gabe gonna step up and be the fucking man and do what they need to do? Why is there always this constant? They are making their job harder on themselves. You notice that? Have you noticed that? There are literally court cases right now for Steam where it just didn't need to happen. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's just like, oh, well, we're going to sue you for this because, well, you took our game down wrongfully. And I'm just like, Steam, if you just followed your own TOS, because the people making the video games are looking at your TOS and doing the best to avoid the TOS, and then you either change the TOS or you just remove the game because there's new rules in town that they don't know about. Too much skin. Good lord. Beaches should be closed for people who don't wear a burqa.
Looking main character.
True.
But surprise, it came back, with giant censored signs slapped over the risky parts. And just like House Party, there was yet another patch to bring it all back. Steam's response...
It's interesting that Steam's response, I'm going to put it this way. The reason why they're not getting a response now is because I think, and two things are either happening. One, they wanted to pull that down to get because of optics, because they don't want to get in trouble, and then they quietly went, haha, cool, we're back in the game, boys. Or they banned it because they didn't like it. Steam, the moderators, didn't like it. And when it came back with the patch and, tried to get back on Steam and everything, they just didn't care at that moment. It's possible that those same moderators probably either got fired or transferred or something else, and by the time that it came back with a fully patched up uncensored version, that they probably were like, I don't have the energy for this shit. You see what I'm saying? It's either one of the two. Either they were angry about it the first time, and then when it came back, they were just like, I don't give a fuck, or it could be the latter, where they were just like, we're cool with it, but we're doing the best we can with the we gotta watch out for certain things. It's either one of the two.
The list of bans didn't stop there. In 2018, Valve nearly removed Hunipop for pornographic content.
That didn't happen because it was too hyped up after Markiplier played it, and everybody wanted to play Hunipop. Also, fuck Vice. Fuck Vice. The game, by the way, this is why all these games like House Party and Hunipop are coming back to Steam, is because of views. Because millions of people are probably watching the game, looking at the game, wishlisting the game, and when they realize that the game has just disappeared, then they're going to get back at Steam. And be mindful, by the way, Steam doesn't have a large team. They don't. Kind of works in their favor, but at the same time, they don't have a big team. So when they get, when this under 100 people that are working at Steam get millions of people back with the backlash back at Steam, they'll bring that shit back up.
The dev called it the anime titty holocaust, which saw Valve later.
Why would you mention the Holocaust? That is a fucking... also PC game... Why would you mention the Holocaust when it comes to titties? Isn't that kind of fucked up? You know what I mean? It is like, you know, I fine, but the wordplay is kind of, wow, why would you say that? Why would you say that? But I want to preface this because you guys already know what I'm going to say. PC Gamer and Vice, these are a bunch of fake gamers that have lost their way. They are gone. These are people that were trying to go into the political genre, but then they failed spectacularly, and then they went to gaming because it was much easier. They wanted to go into politics, and now they're like, ah, shit, well, I didn't make it, so let me go over to something that I barely even care about. These aren't gamers.
Admitting the warning was a mistake. But the trouble didn't stop there. Other devs got hit with the same random threats, leaving everyone confused and frustrated.
See?
But Valve apologized for every one of those and walked it back, leaving developers wondering what the next game was on Steam's chopping board. Porno Studio Tycoon, maybe? Well, surprise, surprise, no. While other games were banned for way less, Porno Studio Tycoon, a game about building a porn empire, sailed through just fine. Sure, it didn't have explicit nudity, but it was loaded with sexual sounds and barely dressed characters.
You want to know why it didn't? Because it's... Think about it. Think about the name. And this is probably not by the same people that made Roller Coaster Tycoon, but since they named the game Porn Tycoon, it's probably seen by people that also like Roller Coaster Tycoon or other games that are in the Tycoon franchise, that they probably saw it and were like, yeah, I'll play this game. So it's kind of smart that they were just like, yo, instead of roller coasters, let's do this shit. You know what I mean? So this is what happens when a game gets so much eyesight on it. And I don't mean eyesight like, oh, I don't like this game. Eyesight as in, I'm going to wishlist this game and I'm going to play it. So if your game gets a lot of eyes on it and then all of a sudden Steam just deletes it into like the ether, people are going to get pissed, and then Steam's going to come up and be like, oh man, there's a lot of people that don't like this. Let me just bring the game back.
And yet, Steam never raised an eyebrow.
Nope.
So how is it that smaller developers risk getting banned for a bit of pixelated skin, while the likes of The Witcher or GTA gets a free pass?
The Witcher and GTA, you know why. You know why. Well known. Well known.
Yes. Because Steam's rules were never meant to be about fairness.
Nope. Exactly. She's smart. I like her. And hot.
Enter Steam Greenlight, Curator Pages, and Steam Direct, Valve's weird attempts to clean up the chaos. Spoiler, it didn't work. It all started with Steam Greenlight in 2012, where players voted on which games deserved a spot on the platform. The idea? Let the community decide. The reality? A flood of low-effort submissions, spam, and popularity contests that buried smaller developers. It just didn't work, and so
I don't like that idea either.
just replaced Greenlight with Steam Direct, a new system for developers to publish games on Steam for a $100 fee. It was supposed to filter out the junk, you know, but instead, it just opened the floodgate to shovelware and asset flips. And then there were curator pages, the worst of them all. Those curator pages were meant to give trusted voices like YouTubers and gaming journalists a platform to recommend games. In theory, it would guide users to quality titles, but in practice, curators just started spamming generic, paid reviews or copy-pasting store descriptions.
Yeah, there are some that just utilized it. The curator system is good in one aspect, but there are people that will use the curator system to, you know, solve it'll solve like a different agenda. Like they'll probably try to be like, yeah, you'll like this game because it's my game. Yeah, you'll like this game because it's also my game. Oh, bro, you'll check out these games. 2 thumbs up because I'm the one working on that game. That's why. But there are good curators out there. Like, of course, we got the DEI curators that I have, where it's just like, this one's tied in with DEI, this one ties in with Sweet Baby Inc. Like, those kind of games where it's like, you'll probably even get curators saying, like, this game was made with AI, those kind of curators. So it's kind of like a hit in the middle.
Didn't even play the games. Worse, curators racked up thousands of fake followers through giveaways, which turned the system into basically a free game farm. All this to say that Valve just heavily relied on user reviews to separate the good games from the bad games.
And this sucks too, because this is the laziness of leadership that I'm talking about, where it's just like, oh, well, let's let the people decide. Well, let's let the people decide. Well, let's do a vote on it. Let's make everything a democracy. Sometimes if you have a sort of thing like Steam, you have to have just leadership and then put your feet down, where it's just like, we're going to put any sort of porn games on here, and if you are okay with porn, then the porn will be available and shown. If you're not okay with adult themes, then you will never see the adult themes. It'll be a switch, on or off. That's it. It's like, yeah, but there's a porn game where you're fucking like Kamala Harris without her consent. It's a fucking video game. Suck it the fuck up. Kamala Harris is drunk somewhere in the real world. Suck it the fuck up. That's it. End of story. Done. If you don't want to see it, hit the no seeing porn button. Done. That's it. We're done. If you don't want to see it, there's the button right there. And then, like I said, Gabe's fucking lazy. Even though he's got some things that I understand that makes sense, he's fucking lazy. There's zero leadership. Everybody's trying to be the boss. It's an easy solution, but he doesn't want to deal with that sort of leadership.
But instead of fixing the cracks, Valve doubled down and came up with its boldest fix yet, an anything goes policy for games. Spoiler, it didn't go well.
See, anything goes policy. What was wrong with that? Let's see. I'm curious.
In 2018, Valve finally stopped pretending they had control. After the previous attempts all flopped, Valve rolled out their mega solution to it all, the so-called anything goes policy. The idea? Let everything in, except what's illegal or straight up trolling. Valve framed it as a commitment to freedom, saying we shouldn't be choosing what content you can or can't buy. But
that's fine. Let's see.
In reality, they were just ditching all sort of responsibility for curation and moderation. The result? More shovelware, more asset flips, and of course, more adult content. Valve didn't just allow sex games. They built tools to help you filter them, adding in adults-only toggle and essentially telling players, hey, you deal with it. Which might be fine until you remember Steam's filters are notoriously glitchy. And what was...
I think that's the problem. I think that's the problem right there. Has anybody realized that when you boot up Steam and you blocked out certain gay shit, that you would get the gay shit coming right back? I was just like, yeah, I don't want to see this. And then for a while I didn't see it. And then out of nowhere, it was a futa femboy like fucking apocalypse. And I was like, futa femboy? What the fuck is this? It was right on the front fucking page of Steam. That's where I was wondering. I was like, why isn't this a bad idea? And then I thought about it, and then she said it right there. The glitchy tag system, that's where it is right there. I still think that's a good fix right there. I still think that idea that they had in 2018 was a perfect fix. They just need to tweak it. You see what I mean? Fix the whole idea of seeing certain things, let people decide what they want to see, and you can adjust. Of course, that you'll have an idea and it will be wonky at first. Obviously, it'll take some time to adjust and fix things. Of course. But if you keep on going back and forth, front to back and shit, it's gonna fuck with people, especially the developers, because there are developers out there that want to make a video game, and then there are people that want to get create shovelware. You'll get both of those, and I think that's where this is why they have a small team. But it's just like, why doesn't this small team just have? You should grow the moderation team, the team that handles the figuring out what is actually an authentic game and what is shovelware. I think you should deal with that area, that prospect right there. It'll be like an $8 game, and it's a retard simulator, and you run around and you can barely stand on your 2 feet, and you'll be like, yeah, I think this is shovelware. Yeah, I think this is just trash. Yeah, we're just gonna put it over here. We're gonna put it in the waiting list. We'll queue it up later. But this one's real. This one's real. And then there's a game where it's called monkey throwing shit at a side of a wall. The video game, and then you're like, throw that shit away. Throw that 5-minute game away, okay? You'll realize it, okay? If I did that thing at 2018 and it still wasn't working, I'd be like, okay, well, I knew that was gonna happen, so let's take the time to figure out what it is an actual game and what isn't. Bro, I feel like the answer is right there. You just gotta work on it. It's like, you ever see somebody have a job and then you're just like, well, if you want to fix this job, there's an idea here, right here in front of you, and then nobody works on it. Nobody does a goddamn thing.
Meant by trolling, really. One post.
It's easier for them to fight for the rights of fictional characters and feigning protect the children, and then sticking their necks out for real victims of sexual exploitation. That's kind of true. It's kind of off the topic, but yeah, you're right. Let's keep going.
Post described it as crudely made software barely passing as a functioning game. But that's a definition so vague, it created loopholes.
No, that is not vague. Crudely made piece of software barely passes as a functional game. You'll know. You'll fucking know. Okay? You'll know. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. I recognize that there's early access games out there that look like pieces of dog shit, but you'll recognize a person that's working on something than a person that's not. Like, let's say there's this one game where it's like you're a little like ball with 2 hands, and you have like 2 feet, and you're going around shooting things, and there's different waves of enemy. Video game. Is it simplistic? Yeah. Is it a video game? Yes, it is a video game. Whereas, let's just go. Okay, I feel like I can work at Steam and make it better.
Game. But that's a definition so vague, it created loopholes so big enough to let everything in, from hentai puzzle to boobs battleground.
Boobs battleground? Wait. If it's so vague, then why did you find 2 that was... Wait. That, by the way, what's wrong with the... You know what? At the same time, what's wrong with the shitty games? What's wrong with the shitty games? Like, I think we should have a moment where we look at a video game that looks like shovelware shit. We should look at it and be like, okay, this is indeed Something of a video game? Yeah, it took me 10 minutes to make. It took you 10 minutes to make? Okay, alright. Your game's only going to be worth $1. What? Yeah, your game's going to be only worth $1 on Steam. But it's worth so much more. 10-minute game that you made. What did you say? 10 minutes? Your game's going to be $1. But I'll barely make anything. That's my problem. How? God, I strongly believe Steam needs a firm hand.
And the numbers say it all. Of nearly 19,000 games launched on Steam last year, over half were limited games, a label Valve uses to describe low-effort junk without calling it low-effort.
That's a lot of fucking games that are... Wait, is it low-effort junk? I'm pretty sure there's junk games, but was it, though?
Junk. But it wasn't just shovelware clogging the store. Games like Rape Day, which let you sexually assault women during a zombie apocalypse, made it to Steam.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? It's a fucking video game. They're not real.
Only when advocacy groups accused gay of profiting off of gamified sexual violence.
It's a fucking video. It's a fucking video game. Right now we have on Steam a game where you get raped by different monsters, but they're okay with that. So which one is it, honey? Which one is it? Are these characters real or not? Are these characters real or not? That's all I'm asking. I'm just wondering. How old do you have to be to have a credit card? 18. What year do you... Oh, how old do you have to be to play a porn game? 18. There's your child... There's your child verification right there. What's wrong with these games? Really?
Only then did Valve ban it, citing unknown costs and risks. It was just another PR fallout that Valve didn't want to afford. Anyways, despite its new anything goes policy, Valve still couldn't resist playing whack-a-mole and removed 170 game-shaped objects like Hentai 2048 for whatever unknown reason. Once, Valve removed the game Hatred for whatever reason, only for Gabe to later apologize, saying,
Wait, woman. Wait. What do you mean for whatever reason? I heard the sound in your voice. I heard what you said about the rape games. Now it's a man with long black hair and a trench coat killing random innocent people, and you're like, for whatever reason, what the fuck was... Am I blind? Am I the only one that just noticed that? She was like, oh man, these games that are quite bad where you're raping girls in a game, quite bad. Is like, I mean, I guess she's being informative still, but I could tell the way she was talking, where she was like, wow, bad rape games, wow, bad. And then she's like, for whatever reason, Hatred, a game where you play as a guy shotgunning a bunch of innocent people. And I'm like, you know, that's also bad too, killing people. See, let's just continue.
it wasn't a good decision for whatever reason. Now, to understand why this keeps happening, you need to understand two parts. The first part is...
By the way, I want her to know this. This isn't real. These are video games. I'm going to let you in on this, honey. They're not real. You could say for whatever reason for that game, but not for the rape games. Nobody was harmed in the making of this video game. We're all familiar with that, you know, statement. Just letting everybody know. It turns out when you kill and shoot people in a video game, you don't stop the game and then you start killing people outside of your house. See what I mean?
Steam's approval process. And believe you me, this is where the chaos starts. Spoiler alert, it's a nightmare. So you want to publish a game on Steam, yes? First, you have to sign an NDA to keep everything frustratingly opaque confidential. Then, have $100 ready to join Steam Direct. Then, you need to set up your storefront page, which has its own separate review process, by the way, to approve tags like adult content or gore. And since Steam doesn't require ESRB or PEGI ratings, those tags are vague at best. Adult content could mean nudity, excessive gore, or who even knows?
Wait.
Or like adult content, its own joints.
Say it again?
Then you need to set up your storefront page, which has its own separate review process, by the way, to approve tags like adult content or gore. And since Steam doesn't require ESRB or PEGI ratings, those tags are vague at best.
Then just put it on there. Why don't you just say, hey, what are you going to put in your... There's a process for it, right? Then why don't you just put on your game? Yeah, what are you going to put in your game? Okay, we're going to put this on your game, this on our game, this on our game. Okay, one of those things is kind of risque. We can do it, but you're going to have to put this tag on. Okay, that's fine. You're going to be considered adult content from now on. Okay, cool. It's going to be gore. Cool. Is it hack and slash? Or is it some sort of survival game? It's hack and slash, open world sort of action game. Okay, cool. But the characters are going to be nude and shit's going to be flying everywhere? Yes. Okay, so we're going to put these tags on here for this sort of thing, 18 plus, that sort of thing. That's fine. This is not hard. Okay? 18 plus means 18 plus. You know what that means? 18 plus means you're a fucking adult and you can watch whatever you want to watch. This is not, this doesn't need to be like, oh, what kind of 18 plus? What kind of mature content? What kind of stuff? 18 we've already figured out this whole idea. We've already figured this out. 18 plus means whatever happens goes. If you want to watch this, beware. You're a grown adult. You know how to take care of this. That's it. That's it. There's no like, oh shit, the tag says gore, but you didn't tell me what kind of gore. Shut up, bitch. You're an adult. You bought the game. It's like, oh man, listen, I'm okay with men getting their rib cage ripped out, but I'm not okay with slapping women in this game. No. It's adult content or not. We've already figured this out.
Adult content could mean nudity, excessive...
It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. If it's adult content, period. Point blank, period. We don't need to do... See, this is the liberalism that I can't fucking stand because it ruins fucking everything. It's like you go to a film where it's like a World War II film, and then you're shocked to see like... you're not shocked to see guns and people getting killed and warriors getting killed. You're shocked that there's like a German soldier feeling up on like a random woman or something, and you're just like, I can't see this anymore. No, you're okay with it. Then just leave. That's it.
Or who even knows?
Doesn't matter what it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
After that comes the actual game build review. If Steam finds a problem, they'll reject it with almost no explanation. Developers are left guessing what needs fixing.
Possibly AI, but who knows?
Leading to endless resubmissions and delays. Players, you and me, we don't know any of this, so when a release date mysteriously shifts, guess who gets the hate? The developer, of course. On top, as we all know now, Steam relies heavily on its community to flag problematic content. Players can flag everything from store pages, in-game content, forums. The more flags, the faster moderators review it. But that system usually backfires because what one group finds offensive, another might see it as perfectly fine.
That's me right there. That's me. I'm the smiling shit right there. The flag system. The flag system is something that I would adjust. The flag system is something that I would adjust. And it's just considered a flag. See, sometimes there's certain websites where if you flag it enough, the game or a post will just fucking disappear. I don't like those because it's just automated bullshit. What I like is when a flag system just flags it and says the moderator needs to check this game out. And when the moderator reads it and isn't a rebel, a liberal fucking communist cuckbag, and they read it, and what they read is, listen, the reason that we don't like this game is because it doesn't work. Fair enough, the game doesn't work. We're gonna have to talk with them. We're gonna have to bring the game down. We don't like it when games don't work. Understandable. But when you come up to me and say the reason that we don't like this game is because like you're raping women, and then you look at the title and it says adult content, and you're just like, what's the problem? Well, you're raping women. What woman? Point at the woman. This woman. That's not a woman. That's a video game, and she's not real. Where's the real woman? Yeah, but it's like telling people what to do. You don't tell people what to do. If you don't like the game, don't play it. Simple as that. That's it. Am I fucking retarded, or am I right?
But that's just one part of the story. The second part, as to why we have all this chaos going on, starts within Valve itself. Spoiler alert, it's as flat as it can get. Welcome to Flatland. Valve is flat. We don't have any management and nobody reports to anybody else.
That's the problem right there. That is the problem right there. That's the problem right there. Why does this keep thinking to turn up?
We do have a founder, but even he isn't your manager.
Are you fucking kidding? No wonder you guys are getting problems. Bro!
Company's yours to steer. You'll decide what to work on. You have the power to greenlight projects. You have the power to ship products.
Oh my.
Anytime you interview a potential hire, ask yourself if they could literally run this company, because they will be. You were not hired to fill a specific job description. There is no rule book for choosing a project. At Valve, nobody has an actual title. We take on the role that suits the work.
Look at the roles. Look at the roles. You can carry different hats. Look at the roles. Your own professional development and Valve's growth are both now under your control. Here are some thoughts on steering. What fucking communist gobbledygook is this shit? So when shit happens, when bad shit happens, who do you call to? When bad shit happens on your website, who do you call to?
Work in front of us. Everyone has to function as a strategy.
When bad shit finally fucking happens, they finally report to the fucking Gabe. Oh shit, we do have a president. We do have a president. We do have a leader. And I'm like, nah, you read the book. We're all communists up in this bitch. We're all the same.
Strategist, which really means figuring out how to do what's right for our customers. We do not have a growth goal. We don't make growth decisions based on external pressures.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with growth decisions, but there are certain things. There's growth and then there's adjustments. You see what I'm saying? There's growth and then there's adjustments, to where it's just like, why does bad shit keep on happening on my website? Oh, it's because you made everyone the boss. Okay, let me change a couple of things, okay? Let me change a couple of things.
These aren't startup slogans. They're direct quotes from Valve's employee handbook, a leaked manifesto to promote the company's infamous flat work structure. It might be from 2012, but still so current, it feels like the actual roadmap to their ongoing chaos. Being boss-free since 1996, Valve sounds like a utopia for creatives. No managers, no titles, just...
You can still be a What? First of all, what do you mean creative? What do you mean by creative? You could still be creative with leadership. What the fuck does that even mean? What does that even mean? There's a lot of adjustments that you could make this thing actually work, but they just don't do it. You know what this entails? You know what everybody is the boss? Everybody is your own boss mean? You want to know what it means? It means I don't have to be liable for the dumb shit that you do. That's what it means. So when something dumb happens because of what you did, no, everybody's hands off, and they're just like, well, I didn't do it. It was Steam. Well, I didn't block this game. It was Steam. Well, I didn't do this. Well, who did it? We need to figure out what's going on here. Well, I didn't do. I'm not the boss. It could be it. You know. See what I mean?
Freedom to work on whatever you like. Sounds great in theory, but in reality,
no, it does. In theory, I guess, yeah.
It's chaos wrapped in good intentions. Jerry Ellsworth, a former Valve employee, revealed that the structure works great when you're 20 people. But it does break down terribly when you look at a company of 300 people. Then it all just becomes pseudo-flat with an actual hidden layer of powerful management that felt a lot like high school, where the
felt a lot like high school, and you know what? And you know what? I bet that people are making their own sort of like circle jerk inside of Valve. I bet that's fucking happening. There's their own fucking circle jerk inside of Valve where it's just like, yeah, we're the boss up in here. It's like, we're the fucking cool kids.
The popular kids are calling the shots. And when a
There
few
it is.
popular
There it
kids
is,
are
right
calling
there.
the shots at a boss-free company, you also have a moderation process where one person can single-handedly decide which games get banned. And that's how Mary became infamous in the visual novel community, banning Evanical 2 for its content, while Evanical 1, nearly identical, stayed on Steam, likely reviewed by someone else. Her copy-pasted rejection message even resurfaced word for word in bans like Tenchi Suzu,
I remember this
which
one.
only meant one thing. Moderation at Steam is more about who reviews your game.
Exactly. Who reviewed your game? Was it Mary? Was it Cindy? Was it Lou? Was it Jimmy down the street? Who was it? I'm telling you, fucking liberal women is the fucking death. You really think some there probably is a man up in there, some simp in there that's doing it. You really think a man's gonna really care what you do with your fucking game? Like, this is a liberal woman's wet dream. No wonder this shit is fucked up. And this is how they keep on getting court cases, is because of this dumb shit.
And any consistent policy. But it gets worse. Did you know that employees receive bonuses tied to their project's profitability? Meaning, if a product isn't a safe bet, no one's gonna work on it. Why risk your bonus on something experimental when you can't stick to sure things like Steam's cash cow marketplace?
Wait.
If a product is that employees receive bonuses tied to their project's profitability?
To their project's profitability. What sort of project?
Meaning, if a product isn't a safe bet, no one's gonna work on it. Why risk your bonus on something experimental when you can't stick to sure things like Steam's cash cow marketplace? Now, remember when Valve tried to let players sell mods for Skyrim?
Yeah, that would have been a great idea.
Sparking outrage over monetizing a tradition? Well, luckily, they scrapped the idea within days, but Gabe's response to this fiasco said it all. Actually, money is how the community steers work. A comment that perfectly sums up Valve's mindset.
Well, that would have been a great idea. I still think it would have been a great idea to have paid mods. I still, as long as the prices aren't egregious, I think paid mods would have been great. Especially, you're creating a modding system where it would have been like really cool, where it's just like, oh shit, I'm working on something and I'm getting paid for it. That's cool. I'm good at this thing. It's so funny because every time when I get a really good mod, I'm just like, I feel I have to pay for this. You're working on something that increases the value of that said video game. I think that deserves something. But here's the thing. I think the biggest thing, I would have added the paid mods, by the way, but here's the thing. I would add a sort of system to where it's just like, is this mod performing well, or is it janky, or is it not working? And also, I'm going to add something where it's just like, is it not working, period, or is it not working every time that there's an update? Every time when there's an update to the video game, it makes sense that the mod might not work. It might not work. That's just how mods really, that's because the patch could, make the mod, fail. But if it's like every patch the mod doesn't work, that makes sense. But if it's in general the mod isn't working, we could take that one down, and then we can, you know, let them like fix that up. So I think that would have been like a great idea. I think the reason why they don't want to do paid mods is because they don't believe that the mods are actually going to work. But there is a system in place. I have like ideas popping out of my head where I'm just like, there are safeguards that we can do for paid mods. The only reason that people don't like paid mods is because people don't want to. It's like, oh man, I gotta pay for this. He's like, yeah, just like everything, dude. I still think it's a fucking good idea. It's like, I think there should be a creative process for like people trying to increase the value, because not only does and also I think that if the mod is tied to a game, let's say you're doing a mod for Cyberpunk on Steam, then some of the profit is going to go to Steam and some of the profit is going to go towards Cyberpunk, and you can still get a profit, and the rest of it goes to you. Let's say you got a $5 like mod. $1 is going to Steam. $1 is going to the CD Projekt Red, and then the $3 is going to you. Boom! We got an idea. We got something to cook up. But they don't want to have this sort of conversation. And I'm just spitting ideas. This is a work in progress we can do. But nobody wants to do it because everybody wants shit for free. And everybody's like, man, we got to pay for mods. That's it. That's the only conversation you could tell me about like fucking mods. It's like, oh, I'm so glad that they didn't give us paid mods, because then I would have to pay for it. I want that. The reason why I want that is because I don't want to rely on Nexus mods that are also fucking censoring shit.
And now you know why Steam keeps banning the wrong games. With 300-ish employees, Valve is running the world's largest highway for PC games, but doesn't want to account for the traffic. They've built a highway where anything can speed, but without proper regulations. And when crashes happen, whether it's a banned game, offensive content, or shovelware, it's never their problem. But Valve calls it freedom. But freedom without accountability isn't freedom.
True.
It's chaos. And
True.
for a platform this massive, that chaos comes with real consequences. Developers lose their livelihoods, gamers lose trust, and the industry, it inches closer to more government oversight, lawsuits, and even more bad press. The good news is Valve could fix all of this if they really wanted to. It's not rocket science.
No.
The approval process needs rules, actual rules, clear, public, and consistent.
Exactly,
ones.
true.
No more guessing games for developers. They could bring in AI moderation, hire dedicated staff, and stop letting random employees decide a game's fate. And that flat structure, well, it sounds cool, but let's be real, it's not working.
It's not
Valve
working.
Doesn't need a CEO in every cubicle, but they do need accountability. Give bonuses to teams that also take risks, not just to the people sticking to safe bets. Now, Valve has the money, the talent, and the influence to fix it. They could set the standard for how gaming platforms should operate. But will they? Well, if Valve's history has taught us anything, it's this. They love a good cliffhanger. Spoiler, this might just be one they never resolve.
No, they're not going to resolve it.
Steaming.
Yeah, so, yeah, I partly agree with her, but not with, like, the mods, and not with, some other stuff, but still, I think me and her are in agreement that, it's a good idea in hindsight to have, like, no boss, but in reality, you do need to have a functioning system to where it's just like, we need to set our employees to have a certain standard. You are not your own boss. You work here, you could build a career here, but this is not something where, if this was my baby, this is Steam we're talking about. This is my baby. You're not gonna fuck this shit up for me. That's what I would do if I was Gabe. I'd be like, listen, this is my baby. It's like, yo, I banned a whole bunch of stuff that I don't agree with. Somebody was trying to make a Trump game where you tried to stop all the illegals from coming in, and then you like curated and it was like a sort of ICE simulator. And then I'd be like, what's your name? Mary? Mary, you're fired. What? Yeah, you're fired. Pack your things. Get out. It's like, You tried to ban an actual video game, you are out. Goodbye, Mary. That's what I'd do. I'd be doing it. You need to have a firm hand. You need to have a firm hand on your site. Otherwise, people will just... It's a fucking lie. It's a fucking lie to have everyone be the boss. Because sooner or later, like, well, we're already here anyway, they're going to make their own sort of conglomerate sort of boss. Where somebody is trying... There's, like she said, the popular kids. There's going to be an echo chamber. There's going to be, oh, well, we're going to ban these things because we don't believe in that sort of stuff, but we're going to keep all this other stuff. There's always somebody trying to change the rules. You thought that it was going to be everybody's a boss. Lo and behold, somebody is trying to steer the team some other sort of way and, try to make a profit off of that. There are many things that they could do to fix up this whole thing with Steam, but they refuse to do it. And we'll see if they ever change. To be honest, I wouldn't put all your chickens in a basket and believe Steam would ever change. I think there needs to be another app out there other than Epic Games to come out and say, hey, we're another site and this is what we do. I think that's the only way. A competition is probably the biggest thing that's needed. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. That was fucking great video. Very great video. I'll give it to you guys right now.